often is because their mind is foolish. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over. The cliff garage comes in, and then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads, sparks. In our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a circuit breaker that's so much more in it. You keep on loading it, you can't put any more into it. So I talk about in there, there's so much about clearing space in your mind so that you have room for all those disciplines. Be uncomfortable. Do something that sucks every day because you're constantly trying to sharpen that sword as a man. The sword is right because you have to shoulder more than your share that 100% this all the time. So it means being man means everything. It means not sleeping sometimes. It means and sometimes you move out to make sure that your family goes forward. And if not your family, maybe you're in combat, maybe you have to always make sure that you're doing others for yourself. But to do that, you gotta make sure you are a hard mother. It's a difficult motherfucker where you're gonna fail and you're gonna be in your head, you're gonna be saying, I'm not good enough. And it's how you get through that. It's how you get through that on a daily basis for that thing to say, man, I'm 43, I've done so much. You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money and you start, I'm not getting cold anymore, I'm retired. At 40, people should be playing basketball or football or beating them. You start to believe this shit. And it comes in your fucking mind like, there's people who are retired at 40-something years old or 30-something years old. At 43, I'm still putting 100-mile weeks, still doing thousands of pull-ups, thousands of push-ups. Because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that happened to a man is become civilized. So I train every day because why? As my mind and as a human, I'm supposed to move. Every day, and I'm not saying get after it every day. Get after it, just do something every day. Right? Ride a bike. Like if you're real tired, working out hard, ride an easy bike, spin. And as you're spinning, take in your fluids. Rehydrate your body as you're active, because that's the best way to rehydrate your body. You're like taking a carbohydrate drink, it gets all that good carbs. You start to glycogen store your body again for the next day. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. It was this great, never-ending work ethic. And through work ethic, I developed self-esteem. So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline, it's a regimen, it was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give everything to do that. That's why when I train a fighter or I train somebody, you're not how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have. And if people can learn to focus, this is what's possible. While it may not be pretty, like people want to do a documentary on it. No, I want you to documentary on it. Because I will have normal, everyday people picking me apart. Oh, his life is miserable. Who wants to live like that? It's crazy how it's almost like he's sick, he's psychotic. The most frustrating thing in the world for me is when normal people judge a man like myself on what it really takes to extract greatness from nothing. It takes every bit of who you are if you choose that route. So every day has to be a win. Every day has to be you proving yourself to yourself. Every day you got to look at that accountability mirror and say, how am I looking? Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? There's nothing without discipline, man. And discipline is that trigger. And the discipline is the utmost in everything that we do as people in this world. Period. Because when you're hard, I can do that. Situations that say, man, I'm at Ranger School right now, I'm men out here. But guess what, brother? Take that man, you look like you need to be. You're starving, your stomach's fucking inside, you lost 56 pounds, you're dying inside. When a man said, no, we said, hey man, take that brother. So a man, in other words, a leader. Sharpen your sword to your mind. You must do something that sucks every day. You must challenge yourself outside your own comfort zone. You cannot live in a world that you are great at. Live in a world that you're great at, and you're not good. You must stay right there. That's just my mindset. And surely every day I started changing the voice in my head, because the most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Yeah. So I slowly started changing that internal dialogue in my head. And there was no like teacher, there was no shrink, there was no mom saying, "Hey David, you can do it. No, it was a give me." And that was where the power came from. The power came from no one's helping me, no one's coming back and saying, no one's coming back to the finish line. This is on you. So I saw a lot of power in the fact that if I change this around, I did this. I changed this around. Yeah. So that's where I also had it. Was that your defining moment? It was. A young dude, I was young friend of times with his life. And for me, we train in things I do on a regular basis. That's how I learned to love my mentor. Don't know why I'm doing these things that are so I feel like, I was a big guy twice in my life because I always gravitate towards the end. Also, like, so I do it every single morning. Every time I get up, I get it in. I put on beats, I put on prayer, I will escape, I will steal, I will do that exercise. So what makes me every day to get up and work out and do anything is the pride I have of myself. I want to make sure that I'm always ready. Any and all obstacles that come my way. And those obstacles aren't a running race, not a biking race, not some military training, nothing like that. Those obstacles that that we confront every day is the obstacle of life. And life is the greatest competitor of all time. So it keeps me waking up every morning, it keeps me training in all the disciplines of life is the greatest competitor, which is life. Very routine. I get up every morning, I run, I go to the gym, and at night time I stretch out. So I never get on social media. I'm big on that. I'm big on being with yourself. I believe all these cameras and phones, it takes you away from the most powerful thing in the world, which is your fucking mind. That's why I want to become a Navy SEAL. I wanted people to push me outside my comfort zone every day. And I thought this was going to be the absolute best platform to do that. These guys, the stories I heard after Buds, it just gets harder. I didn't see it that way, because Buds is just to become the sea. That's right. I'm like, my God, I can't imagine what the fuck going to happen. But what happens to a lot of people, not everybody, can't speak for everybody, not everybody. Buds breaks people down to the point where you don't want to be broken down again like that. To me, that was exactly the exact starting point for my journey in life. That was the starting point for me. For a lot of people, it's the next one. And I didn't see it that way for me. So that's where I started becoming uncommon amongst uncommon people. Is where I started realizing that you put people on a pedestal that you shouldn't. That you got to get there yourself and examine people. It's really about yourself. So once I got in there, I realized, hey, these are just little people. That's why I grind every day. Because nothing is permanent. My top line advice for anybody is continue to show up. But just showing up is not enough. If you're going to show up, you might as well show the out. The minds of many people is constantly fighting against you. It's the only thing in the history of the world that shows up on time, every time. It has a tactical advantage over you. It knows your fears, it knows your insecurities, it knows everything about you. It might be the only thing in that world that knows all about you. You're gonna know about it. It's gonna show up when you don't want to show up. It's gonna show up at the worst time possible when you want to be successful. It's gonna say, take the easy road. Take the easy way out. You gotta learn your brain like the brain has learned you. And that's what really developed my work ethic. People think it's from running. Nothing else. It's not from SEALs, it's not from running. It was from countless hours teaching myself how to read and write. I had a tutor for 1 hour every single week because all we could afford. So for 6 months, I saw a tutor 1 hour a week. All the rest was on me. My mom was working 3 jobs. She was never home. I said, I have to get in the military. Once you take control of your mind, you start making decisions for yourself versus your mind making decisions for you. But the work ethic had people think I became this guy running. Yeah. No, I became this guy who studied. Just study hours. It might take me an hour to learn. Take me 2 days. So that's work, and it's at the table. And my best friend Johnny remembers me like, God, like, it just changed. Something happened. I got obsessed. Discipline is great. Motivation is great. But if you can't fit it in your brain because it's all flooded, there's no discipline. You can have it sometimes when it fits that crowded garage of your mind, but you don't have the consistency that you need to have with discipline. So that's the only purpose I can need. So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race, there's no school, there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself.
But where do you go to? You wake up in the morning, it's cold, it's wet, it's dark, you've got no cartilage in your knee, you've got shorts, whatever it is that's the issue today.
Keep talking. I need you to keep talking about what you just said.
It's warm on the couch, your missus says stay in bed, it's comfy, it's cozy, you can work later on, you had an argument last night, you're slightly hungover.
Motherfucker, you ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you live alone. That's how you live alone. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there that fires me up. That makes me fucking happy what you just said. That brings joy to my life right there. Why? Because I know there's so many people that had the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours, refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. So, still training. When the guys I was trained with came down to visit me, it was amazing how I kept the same routine I had 20 years ago. Waking up early, going to the gym, getting after it, going back in the afternoon. I can tell you so bad. She started to explain to me why you can't do it. Talked about travel, talked about work. So he started asking me, how the hell do you do this shit every day? I said, I negotiate with myself. Most of us come out here, we explain away why we can't do shit. And we stick in this negotiation process in our mind. You can't negotiate these things. They're definite. But once you show them long enough, you gotta get to the next part, which is the attack. If you have the courage every day to show up, that's the first step. The next step is to get to the point where you say, now, I gotta bring that dog out. And that's the part that I was missing. The second I was in, I got up there and said, okay, man, you're gonna jump and get the moment, man. Once you attack this, get it back. The whole mindset shit. But I had to think about, you're not gonna every day. You're gonna keep doing this every day, so you're not really that afraid. You're just afraid of that. Complete the mission. Complete every step of this journey and jump on that bird and be the man you want to be. And that's the whole point about attacking, like attacking things. It's not just enough to show up. I remember Team for Success. Habits. Without having those habits and those certain disciplines in life, you kind of just live life, half-assed. You don't really have the schedule. And with that schedule and those habits, that's what builds that discipline for you to accomplish your goals, your dreams. For me, my routine is every night I stretch out. And I stretch out for 2 or 3 hours every single night. If I'm stretched out, I'm thinking about my plan for the next day. And I'm thinking about all these different obstacles that may come up. So maybe I live like a day one, week one of bugs. And so I take a lot of pride. That's why I don't miss anything. Because basically it's extremely hard to deployed to be at work, workouts, where you're trained to be deployed, and we're getting up early, getting after it, and you're still maintaining a high level of maintenance. Every day, push-ups, sit-ups, running, every single day, along with doing the jobs. My guys, one of the keys of my success was I was able to see myself at the end of a very difficult task before I even started. When I was 297, I was shaking this red water. I was able to see myself at graduation as a Navy SEAL. But as time went on, I kept on getting rolled back to day one. And every day got longer and longer. So what I had to do was I had to take this big chunk and make it small. So I became the master of the one day that I was living. We have to do that now. We never know when the end is coming to this. So we gotta master that one day. It may keep on getting pushed back day after day. And master that day. And when it be harder or stronger, you'll figure it out. And once you do that on a daily basis, it's not about the running. It's about working out. When I talk about work at the time, was hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, you have discipline. Yeah. And you still want to be in the top of your class, I didn't want to stay by. When I realized that I can learn through hard work, and I can be the valedictorian in school, like I put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down, that guy, that valedictorian studying for an hour, and you know, I caught you, and I am done. But I have the work ethic against you. That's when David God just got really invented. At the kitchen table, with 20 spiral walls that were empty. And then 3 months later, they were full. And when you're going through that, I have in my storage, you're going through these spiral notebooks of your life. And you go, this is how I learn. It's unbelievable. There's no miles. It's not about the miles. It's that. You have to discipline every day and say, for me to learn this one math problem, it's going to take me 10 hours. A lot of people don't remember the big comes to life. And at that time of suffering, you have to be able to go through and pull up that and get a resume and say, oh, for you, I'm sure I studied you an ass off for hours, days, years to get where you're at. I guarantee it's harder than this. And that's basically what you have to look back to. But it's hard to do because in that moment of suffering, all you can think about is getting God. So you gotta take that 1 second to pull yourself out of that suffering to have a clear thought. It's hard to have clear thoughts in the midst of extreme pain and suffering. And it was a question to you, man. For all that lose 100 pounds so fast. It's a simple answer. Stop procrastinating. Stop wishing. And you gotta outwork the cowards. If the cowards are outworking you, you're always gonna be what you don't wanna be. You got to. That's why I know I'm at a high level. Because I'm at this, not wanting to be this uncomfortable. I put myself in the dungeon every day on jump. Out of bed, it starts. You go on. Out of bed, right? While most people lose the battle in the morning, like, once you leave your beautiful house, the war starts. Nowadays, it's not the morning anymore. The phone rings, social media's up, the world's attacking it. If you don't control what you can to build that armor, so in the morning time, what I'm doing is I'm building my armor. It gets broken every night. Again, the morning time is I'm building on this one. Right now, it becomes harder every day. The more you get paid nicely, the more you buy nicer things, the more you go from sleeping on the cots to sleeping on mattresses that are formed to your shape of your body and heat temperature and silk sheets and all this, man. Man, it's hard to get a bed with some silk sheets, brother. And time in my life, when I started becoming more successful, with more success, it became harder for me to be honest. So what I started doing was I went back to roots. Like I said, nothing is learned at the top of the mountain. I had to go back to where David Goggins was fat in his mind. That's how did you get to where you are? I became feelingless. And what that means, I'm not saying turn off your feelings towards your family, your wife, your husband. I'm not saying that. Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings gotta go away. It's raining outside, it's cold outside, and you don't want to put those long hours in at work. That's what I'm talking about. Your feelings must go away. When you know everybody's gone home to their families, but you want to be the top salesperson in the world, or you want to be the best lawyer in the world, it is. When everybody leaves to go home, and there's only one light on in a building, a 15-story building, and only one office. Every office is fucking dark. There's one office with one light on, and as those motherfuckers go from the club, they look up every day. 2 o'clock in the morning, they see that light's always on. That's the motherfucker right there you gotta be. But I'm gonna say one thing. I believe in the truth. Tell the truth. A lot of us have loved ones, friends, and we see every day. Gaining weight, getting out of shape, not going to school, being lazy, afraid to tell them the truth. Not being bullies, I'm afraid to tell the truth. One thing that changed my life is my grandfather. He told me, you're going nowhere in your life, not being anything. As bad as that hurt me, it got me to put my head out my ass. So Lord, stay hard. Now, Christianity, and do what's right. You don't need to have a great family. You don't need to be smart. If you have a work ethic, and you are willing to outwork the other besides you, you can do absolutely whatever you want in life. And that is my biggest treasure that I have, is what I have up here in my brain. What I found out, what I learned through this journey, man, it's not for sale. It took too much grind, man. It took too much grit to develop this mind and to have this power I have now. I'm not a theorist. I don't read a book about how Jesus is my practitioner. How did you get to where you are today? How did you get to where you're running 200 miles at one time in 39 hours? Being so disciplined. It started off, honestly, with recognizing that my bedroom was dirty. My bed wasn't made. I lived a sloppy life. So I took very small increments in my life. I started making my bed. I started cleaning my room. There were dishes in the sink. It started off with doing small house chores. I saw that the yard needed to be mowed. So instead of being told it needed to be mowed, I would mow it. I started doing things, coming outside of my lazy ways to become better. And through a period of time, your brain doesn't like it, but it starts to realize this is a new way of thinking. We are now doing things that we aren't comfortable doing. We are doing things that we don't want to do. So the brain starts to slowly grow. So we live it up. If it helps me to help the world, I help it. If you tag more people to follow me, I'll give you a gift touch. Well, I'll make you do that. I'll be nothing from you. So everyone for this is, if you email me, have Merry Christmas at DavidGoggins.com. guys have a choice every single day of your life. So it's a very different video because yesterday I made the choice to get up early and run. But today's another day. Today's another day that I'm faced with another choice today. So I'm making a choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get after it again. So make the right decision. But when it came down to true suffering, to the highest of suffering, I didn't have that next level of, all right, well, he had this next level. David Goggins wasn't enough. So I went into my mental lab and realized that I want to be great, but I don't have greatness in me. So I had to create a motherfucker that was great. And in my mind, I really think on visualization. And people think it's all kind of bullshit. Believe what the fuck you want. I don't give a. This is a truth right here, man. I read it in my mind and said, okay, I want to look like this. I want to feel like this. And I want to have a mind that is in cast iron steel. That is in never dull. That's always pushing. That was the biggest thing I wanted. I wanted to hit obstacles that people up, including myself. But I didn't waver. I didn't fear. I didn't run away. I just stayed marinated in fear and suffering. And through that, building Goggins, I will become Goggins when necessary. And I started to do these things. But to do that every day, to wake up every day miserable, it's like, God, I don't want to do this anymore. That's when you know you're a leader. When you're at that point, you're saying, so every night, it's Groundhog's Day. Every single day, you know, I'm going back in the lab again, man. I'm going back in the lab every single day. You know, it's not going to end. That's when you know you're being a leader in your life. Is in the socks. When I was in training, we had to have this funky ass attitude. Run every day. It was contagious. And here's what I'm going to quit. So I knew there's one evolution out there. And he think about taking on it. It was called steel pier. They lay on this steel pier. They hold you down. It's windy and cold in San Diego. They put you in the water. And you repeat that cycle. We're on the water trip. Listening to guidance. You want to quit? I go, yeah, get out here, Ray. We walk to the belt. He rings in. He looks at me. Wait, me and Ray. I said, I'll stay a little longer. Have fun. You're civilian life. Now you got that attitude. Stay at home. One thing more than this than a good attitude is a bad one. I started realizing, man, just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges, these goals, these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles. So what about losing 106 pounds? Me losing 5 pounds was an accomplishment. Me losing 10 pounds, then 50 pounds. And the more I did, the more I gained confidence. And then the more I gained confidence, the more I realized these Navy SEALs, man. These guys can't do what I'm doing right now. I had no coach, had no trainer, had no life. I didn't know how to lose weight. I had no knowledge of what I was doing. I was working. I was just sacrificing. And then through that, all of these different tools started coming up. But I would have never found these tools if I didn't put myself in a very uncomfortable place. And then to figure it out, all these tools, your mind starts to, when you quit, your mind does this. Because you're out. Once you say, I'm not going to quit, this is the 40%. When you quit, your mind says, we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving. So we got to expand. We got to grow. We got to figure this thing out. So then these compartments in your brain start to have, they have to work. They have to work. And then you start to engage parts of your mind that you never engaged before. But you can't engage it by sitting back in these nice chairs, drinking this nice water, talking to you, talking about what I want to do. That's where the 40% thing comes in. It comes in when you're in suffer mode and you say, I'm not going to play. So years ago, I was scared to death to fly. So my mentality is this: if you're scared of something, learn about it. Figure it out, overcome it. So I went out and got lessons on how to fly. I'm up in the plane with a pilot. He said, bad turbulence. And I freaked out. And the pilot says, one thing you can't even do up here. And that's get to fly the plane. In life, it's a true statement. We have hard times, we have turbulence, we fail, we fall on our ass, we have divorces, we have all kind of that happens. And we sit there and think about that one issue. And it's all we think about. And we forget to fly the plane is us. We forget to focus on everything in life, our habits, our goals, our destination. We never fail. So stay hard. And the second, every day I get done running, every day I get to working, every day I get to studying, whatever it is that brings to that place of knowledge, I come home and that book was mostly written on scratch piece of paper in hand. So I come home from running and I write everything out. I write everything out, all those things. And as I'm running, I'm talking about it. So all these things that pop in my head as I continue to run, I'm going through it. I'm starting to layer it down. I'm starting to break it down into, okay, that happened. Okay, now let's layer this. Because that's just not how it happened. It just happened that way. What led up to this? And so it becomes me by myself in school. I'm really going to school right now and I'm learning. So I come home, I write it out. And then I'm able to write it out. I'm able to think about it. Say, okay, well, this speech, this will help me later on. And then it becomes what it is now. You have to do something that sucks every day. Because why? Once you overcome the suck, oh, now you're powerful. You've overcome yourself already. So now you're ready to battle. By no means am I an expert at this, but I do know a lot about living the super of life. I've been getting a lot of emails from different loved ones about people who have killed themselves. My next door neighbor 2 months ago, she just killed herself. Tons of veterans I know, they killed themselves. I got an email 2 weeks ago from a family member that an 11-year-old boy killed himself from people at school bullying him. One thing about life is that people in life, they're the ultimate puppet masters. They exploit your weakness and they love to walk you around life and own space in your head. One of the biggest ways to cut those strings and walk on your own 2 feet to your own destination in life is to build self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Stay hard is not just about going to the gym. Stay hard is about going that extra step you can. That's what builds self-esteem and self-respect. Stay hard. That's where you find yourself. You find yourself in New York and you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable on a daily basis. That's how I started to grow. Like I said about the mind, it wants to put you in that nice 72-degree temperature with everything right there. It wants to be that nice little massage therapist. That's where your mind wants to be. It doesn't want to be, and we're talking about helping. So it doesn't want to be helping. It helped me. I was in 3 of them. I finished 2 of them in 1 year. Only person that can do that is still history. There's been people who have gone through a couple of those, but in like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. I was in 3 in 1 year. They say it takes off 3 to 5 years to get by. So helping is 130 hours of continuous training. You might get 2 hours. And what it does is, it's designed to break a man. Breaking man down to the parts where, I can talk about the surface, how it's fixing the surface. If you only fix the surface, you might never need to be. Because what it does, it starts to bring out these demons. So I've had this mentality for years. It got me through a lot of hard times. You cannot use it every day of your life. That's it. That's what I'm saying. You cannot use it. I use it as like, my God, this is the perfect. I found it. This is the trick. You don't even matter. You're just a machine. You are a machine. That's just like a lever. That's all you are, man. You're not. You're not. And in my book, I talk about what that lever starts to get rusty, starts to get crusty. It starts to I can't even think of anybody but myself. So through the process, what I started to learn was that helps a lot. And you can tap into that all the time. But you have to be able to heal yourself. You have to be able to recover yourself. It can't be something that you continue to do and do and do. There has to be a recovery process for your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. It encompasses your whole body. So those are tactics, but those tactics must be oiled up. That never has to be oiled again to go back in. So the things I do, I'm always, every day, building belief. And my belief had to be where it is because I'm so far down. So it may take a 200-mile run from me. It may take a 100-mile run. It may take late nights in the gym. But without belief, I have nothing. And I realized that my strength, I have no belief. I have to build it. And a 5-mile run, I had to push myself to such extremes because I came from, people judge me, but I don't know where I came from. So unless you're me, and you came from where I came from, I guarantee you, and I guarantee you. And I knew that. So my belief comes from going, I had to build it. That's how I build it. I build it by the things I do. So we influence the solitude right now in our homes, our apartments, where we live. But we're also being enforced in the solitude in our own minds. Life is the most brutal and dirty sport of all time. And that's what we have to love about it. Because it took on his head and love the fact that life continues to attack us. There are no timeouts. You can't just go like at a sport event when it comes to the lights up, call timeout. You can figure stuff on the fly. You can be that person who's always prepared. But the solitude right now, the all of us are dealing with, is what we don't want to deal with. It's the fact that we have to think about all these things that we don't like about ourselves. We like to use life as a big escape. The escape is not there anymore. All these distractions that we use, they're no longer there. This is the time right now for you to stop avoiding things. Get that pen and paper out. Look inside yourself. Stop looking at me or other people out here to be the hero of your story. This is time for you right now, all that solitude, to get to know who you are as a person. Come on with yourself. Write that shit down. Start to face these different things in life. Knowing one thing in life, we are all very fragile in this world. We have to know that when we die with some meaning and some purpose in this world. You want to be that one mother that every day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you lost every dime, your mom died, your dad died. You come and you bring the energy that it takes to make a team function at the highest level every day. And that's the person you want to be every day of your life. I'm telling you right now, man, empathy, there's a spot for it, but not when you're trying to be great. The thick skin, the tough way is the only way. And people got to be able to handle those hard conversations around you because there's managers and there's leaders. A manager makes sure you clock in everybody. Okay? A lot of leaders have become managers. You want to be a motherfucking leader. A leader takes you, knows how to talk to you, and not make you become the best you can be. And empathy, a lot of times, about this much. But the second you stay in empathy too long, it's vulnerability. So make sure, teach them, not empathy, teach them thick skin so they can every day have to do that. Because why? When you stop doing it, you don't just maintain it. If you stop shooting the gun, that could be a great shot. You pick a gun up a year from now. The only way to keep from getting rusty is to constantly open up the machine. The machine exists. You got to keep challenging every day. Always do your own judging. Always meet the person. Look at the person in the eyes before you say you don't like them. Listen to their story. Listen to who they are. Listen to where they come from. How they lived. Get your opinion about people. It's very huge. A lot of people didn't like me coming up because they see this hardness, this crust. Break away the crust and see what's inside that person. I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, You have to know that getting to that goal, you have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. Like when I was losing 106 pounds in 3 months, the first 2 months or the first 2 weeks, it's like I was gaining weight. You know, I would lose a pound, gain 2. So I was just failing, kept failing, kept failing, kept failing. So I had to teach myself how to fail right. And what that means is when I fail, I can't spend much time in that fail zone. If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. If you choose to do something, attack it. Because they're going to remember you as not attacking it. You don't gain confidence by going to a spot that makes you feel good. It's going to be a false reality. And the second life gives you that challenge, all you want to do is go back to what made you confidence or what gave you confidence. Is that happy spot? Now, what gives you confidence, what gave me confidence, was spending years at the kitchen table trying to learn how to read and write all my own. Realizing I can't learn the way you learn. I can't. But I can learn. What gives you confidence, not being afraid, is overcoming the fear. Whenever I'm weak at something, whenever I'm scared of something, I master it. I was a weak-minded person, so I mastered my mind. And in mastering my mind, I mastered the human mind. That's why I no longer judge people. I don't put people on a pedestal, because we're all done their own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people. So I know we all have them. But me knowing that, the most alpha males are very fragile. Very fragile. They never want to see another person harder than them. Especially that kind of realm. Ego attached. Ego, very strong. Ego will give every time. Ego is serious. So if I can hurt your ego, I got you. If you can, for the rest of your life, live inside of yourself. Stop listening to people who are calling you fat, gay, transsexual, or everything that makes no sense. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta just be whoever the hell God or whatever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You gotta take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. And I'm not saying don't believe in God or what you believe in, but right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, you're not gonna find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. That means you gotta be quiet. To succeed, you must fail. In failure and in suffering, all the answers are in there. All the answers to all the best questions is your life. All the answers are in there. You have to live in suffering and pain and failure all the time. You have to learn, I need to visit it. Like people hate working out. You're only going to visit working out maybe an hour a day. 23 other hours a day, you're not in it. But how you become in shape is you must visit suffering, visit working out 1 hour a day. Visit suffering 1 hour a day. Visit your past failures 1 hour a day. The relationship with it is the answers are in there. If you put yourself in the fire, and you come out every day like this, brush it off, not scared to go back in there again, man, your truth is real. You come out every day, man, with a way of talking to people that people don't have, because there's no truth behind it. And the truth is starting. When you sit there in the ugly mirror and say, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and this, you finally started your life. Maybe you're 40 years old. Maybe you're 40 years old, 5, 6 kids, wife. So you look in that mirror and you say, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Face it, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I can't do this, I have all these insecurities. Your life finally started. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know who you are, I can't tell you. So once you create this vision in your mind, it's how am I going to get there then? That's when I come into play. But first you got to create your own vision. And it's not external. It's the vision created is inside of you. They are in there. But in the suffering, go in there, they're called the live autopsy. The live autopsy, how you find out someone died, they crack you open after you're dead. How you can live is do it while you're alive. Go back to the brain, crack it open while you're alive. Don't wait until you're dead to figure out why you died. Do it while you are living. Go in there, go into the suffering, go into the pain of your life and say, why did this suck me so bad? Why am I afraid of all this? Why have I shut down the whole world? I guarantee I'll tell you why. It's in these nooks of the suffering within your brain, in the scarring, are all the answers to why you are on the couch feeling sorry. They lie within the scar. Visit them for at least an hour a day. Study them. And then you'll find out more about yourself. When they grow up, you have to face yourself. So many people live to be 100 years old and they die miserable, having everything, because they never examined. I call it my live autopsy. You never examined this. Happiness, peace, enlightenment. It's all up here, man. It's all up here. If I start talking like this, people, man, I don't know. It's the truth, man.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all up here. He's got to go and face it. And that's the hard part. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did. So whenever times get back and good, I'll just who's gonna carry the ghost up. That's real. I hate that people know me for that guy, because that guy's not every day. Like when they see me, they want that energy. That's not me every day. I can extract it immediately if I need to, because when you train alone, and I lived alone for so many years, this misery, and you're able to get out by yourself, I can take myself to such a level of real passion and purpose, and like the feeling I get is something I can't even explain by myself. I don't need anyone. That's why people need to motivate them. No one can motivate them. So don't look at it as every day I suffer. Go make 200 hours in bed. Learn from this. Learn from life. Learn from your rebellions. Learn from your insecurities. Learn from your self-doubt. The 40% rule is all about the brain has the tactical advantage over you. It knows and it keeps you away from all that. That's why it says don't jump out of airplane. Don't go in the ocean with the sharks. It's a protective mechanism. Don't go back to the place where your dad beat you down in your mind. Don't go back. What separates me from other people is they go into a daunting task, and the task is overwhelming. Like, and I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, and I was talking about breaking the record. People are like, oh my God. I went right to a pen and paper. Like, what are you doing? I'm doing the math, man. What are you talking about? I'm open-minded. In fact, okay, I do 5 pull-ups in a minute for so many hours, that gets me pull-ups. I was telling you the rest. I was breaking the math down. Get the open mind to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen. So that's why my eyes and my body light up about things, because I know that if you're in a fight, you have to attack. You have to keep attacking. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever the fuck is in front of you. It's not in that comfort zone. It's in the discomfort zone. It's where my confidence is getting built. That's what's getting built. The people want an easier answer.
Yeah.
There has to be an easier way. It's not. I'm sorry. I searched for it my entire life. The brain protects you, but protects you so much it doesn't allow growth. So the brain is an amazing thing, but the brain controls you. You must control it. You must take power over your own mind, or your mind will guide you into all the soft spots, soft places that your brain wants to live in. Your brain has enough information. It doesn't want to go through that process of mind hardening. It doesn't want to do that. I can't remember what time I gotta be here, what time I gotta be there. This is where I want to stay. I'm peaceful. I want to stay very peaceful away from the scar. So that's what it is. I got to experience the beauty of true fucking willpower. True you. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. And I will succeed. So by me having such a fragile ego growing up, all this was my advantage. And I was doing a live autopsy on how dumb I was. I was like, hey, this me, I better tell people too. So I started using all these different tools and tactics to get in instructors' heads and taking souls. That's what happened, man. We're Wednesday. jackhammering, everybody wants to, everybody just want to get through it now. I want to be expert in mental toughness, guy. Beyond mental toughness. The only way to do that in my eyes is to put yourself in there. Put it up repeatedly. Repeatedly put yourself in there and study how you process. And that's how I was able to do all these different ways and all these different tools to slow the mind down in hell. Because the mind just speeds up. The mind wants to get out of the painful situation, the suffering. It can't process it. So that's what I realized by going through all these different processes of being in helpless. You know, it's just that. How the mind processes in hell. It's day one, motherfucker. This is hour one. You get a wide range of life in just 19 hours. You know, like when you get to like mile 50 and your mind's saying, I gotta get out of here, man. And then you get to like mile 60, okay, we're feeling good. You have all these highs and lows that you have to manage within this suck fest of 19 hours. And that's what I get from a lot of these different things. Human growth, you know, growth of the mind without friction.
Thousand Gallon. You're off this till tomorrow. Subscribe. We're here every day. 1,000 diamond push-ups. DeFi.
But in these moments